Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
It's showtime.
If you're new here, please subscribe, ding the bell, click the bell, ding the dong, bing the bong, all that great stuff. And also share your social media, including the YouTube community tab. Please and thank you. Hopefully, you have seen Revelations. That's episode 9 of season 3. If you have not seen it, why are you here? Because there's going to be a lot of spoilers for not just this episode, but stuff in the past. So if you're not completely caught up, I recommend clicking off because there's going to be lots of spoilers. So we got two things before jumping into the episode. Two things. And I see we have Owen Supreme in the house. Thank you for being a channel member. Thank you. Salute, sir, and anyone else who comes in or is watching in the clouds as far as being a channel member, whether right now or on the replay. So behind me is a thumbnail that I used, infographic that I used for a previous upload. And after seeing episode 9, a couple of things have been debunked, but it's all good. So I initially was thinking that the skeleton that is right here in the lower right-hand corner, I was thinking that maybe that was how to unalive the creatures. After watching episode 9, I'm thinking that that's what the townspeople, the original townspeople, may have done to the children or their children during the ritual that made them creatures, created the town. And we'll see that when I go through the breakdown of the episode. You'll see something that alludes to that. I'll let you know when we get there. And I believe that this is maybe a form or a version of what made the original deal with the town. And I'm still believing that this red painting in the middle of the cave painting are the creatures when they were created. I'm still believing that. But we'll see episode 10. Hopefully we'll see episode 10 because it's a strong possibility. We may see, we may not see it. Maybe we'll get answers, maybe not. Who knows? So have you seen episode 9? Hopefully you have, because it's going to be some spoilers. Again, you've been warned. So we're going to get rid of this. And I want to show you a scene before we get really knee deep into the episode. Here is the scene. I'm going to play it. And then I'll come back with the commentary. So I got to get some stuff situated. All right, there we go. So not to block out my face. Sometimes it's a live stream show. Other times it's a comedy. All right, here we go.
Cheers, baby.
Happy anniversary, gorgeous.
Thank you.
Whoa. Interesting. So the reason why I show you this is because this is the only time that we've seen Fatima with someone else besides Ellis. Only time we've seen Fatima like that. And the reason why this is a thing to point out is because there's been comments in the comment section as far as that it's possible that Boyd got the worms did a blood transfusion to Ellis, and the worms got into Ellis, and then the worms from Ellis, allegedly in this scenario, people have been pointing out, have went into Fatima, and that's how Fatima got pregnant. So this is a falsehood, and let me explain why. So Leah Pritchard, that's the actress that plays Stacy, and that's in season 1, episode 7, All Good Things, where Fatima kissed Stacy's character. Fatima took a pregnancy test, season 2, episode 6, pas de deux. I'm probably butchering that. It's French. It basically just means a dance of two. And in the same episode, Boyd gave Smiley the worms and later gave Ellis a blood transfusion because Ellis was stabbed by Dale. So Ellis could not have passed the worms to Fatima, even if he got them from Boyd, because Fatima was already pregnant. So I put that on the members only tab. The members already know this. So based off that logic, Fatima took a pregnancy test and it was confirmed the same episode that Boyd gave Ellis the worms, which means that Fatima was already pregnant before Ellis got the worms because of the blood transfusion, because of being stabbed by Dale when Dale was upset that new people came into town, and because they're new, they should eat less. Donna was not happy about that. It's a whole thing. So yeah, so based off what we've seen in the show, there's nothing that we've seen that would have it to where there'd be a reason for Fatima to be pregnant. Because like Elgen was saying, that Fatima is pregnant, the baby's not hers. So you could say, well, maybe the baby's someone else's, but the baby's not hers, and there's no point in time where she could have been pregnant by the worms, the cicadas, nothing. And so here's the issue that's going on with From right now. Here's the issue. And I know we're going to get into the episode. Just give me a moment. All right, so this is my squiggly lines. It looks terrible. Just walk with me for a second. So when it comes to life in general, we experience time linearly. I know I've gone over this before in the past. I'm going to do it again to illustrate how my camera messing up. But I'm going to go over it again just to kind of illustrate how this show is giving time travel, but negating it at the same time. So everything in life is cause and then effect. So a cause could be that you're hungry. So the effect would be you decide to go to a restaurant, order food and eat. That's the effect. Or it could be the cause is you're hungry. Another cause is you decide to get in your vehicle and drive to a restaurant and order food, which actually that'd be an effect. That's a bad example. So my camera messing up. What's going on, y'all? Man. Anyway. All right. So another cause could be, first it was the voice interface. Now it's the camera. Oh, well. All right. So another cause or a correction to what I was just saying is that one cause could be you order food. The effect is that a waiter or waitress brings it out to you. Cause and effect. All right. We got that down pat, right? So the problem with the show is they're basically giving the effect and then the cause right afterwards. Or they're giving the effect and cause at the same time. And here's what I mean. So in the show, we saw that Boyd was trapped in the mine shaft, season 2, episode 1. We also see Tabitha and Victor lost in the cave, season 2, episode 1. So that's a cause. They're lost. Boyd is trapped. However, we don't see anything bad happen to Tabitha or Victor, or see anything bad happen to Boyd, because Boyd got the rope like immediately after him being trapped, and Tabitha and Victor were kind of, we'll just say, nudged in the right direction to be able to exit the cave without any problems. So we basically saw the cause and effect at the same time, to where there was really no need for actual time travel based off what we're seeing. But as we saw later on in season 3, that the time travel is basically what saved Tabitha and what saved Boyd. So because we're seeing the cause and effect at the same time, as opposed to seeing someone time travel later on and like save the day, undo a problem, fix something, because we're seeing the cause and effect at the same time, what the writers are basically communicating to us is that time travel is a thing, but it's not going to be a thing that we're going to actually see them use it to solve a problem successfully. And the reason why we're not going to see them see them solve a problem successfully with it is because we're not going to see a doom scenario. So what I mean is that because Boyd was trapped in the underground mine and a rope immediately went down to him, we never saw him lose his life at the bottom of the mine shaft or be trapped and a creature or a monster find him. We never really saw the doom scenario. We just saw him immediately saved. So with that being said, time in Fromville, there really isn't a past. There really isn't a future. As far as what we're observing, everything is really happening at once. So if you're in the future and you go back in time and you change the past, which is normally impossible to do, whereas you go backwards in time and you're going to the actual past to change something, while we are watching the show and we're watching it going linear, we're not even going to see any of this because the events that we witness are included with possible and actual time travel. I know it sounds goofy, it sounds crazy, but that basically means that to save the children, it's not going to involve time travel, because if the children were saved using time travel, then there would be no need for the show. There would be no need for anything, because Fromville would have never been created and would not exist for us to watch the show. So being in the future and someone like Julie traveling to the past to save the children, if she were to do that, or if anyone were to do that, there wouldn't be a show, because they're giving us the cause and effect together at the same time. They just won't tell us the effect until later on, like in the future episode, but we're going to see the actual effect of the effect right when we're seeing the cause for it. All right, I know it's confusing. Hope I didn't lose anybody, didn't confuse anyone. It just that the way the writers are doing it is like they're incorporating time travel, but it's not going to have an actual effect on anything. So time travel is a thing, but it's a non-issue. And then even going through the faraway tree, you don't know who's controlling it. You don't know where it's going to take someone. You don't know what's going to happen as far as the outcome. It seems like the faraway tree was only going to be a positive thing for Christopher to save the children. Well, Christopher's gone. And you could say, well, maybe it's someone else this time, but the boy in white did not say that. All right, so just wanted to show you that as far as the Fatima situation and the time travel shenanigans before we go into breaking down the episode 9, Revelations Part 1. So have you seen it already? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Are your thoughts on Elgen still the same? Okay, because from what I've seen in episode 9, I already was looking at him suspect, but based off what I've seen from Elgen, he's a bad guy. He's with the bad side. He's just, we'll just say, misguided. And he just reminds me of people that I used to know. And you may be different, But there's people I used to know that a long time ago, they would find religion and they would do things to rationalize and justify their new belief system, even though they were hurting people. I digress. All right, so here we go. So if you don't want to be spoiled by episode 9, season 3, Revelations, part 1, click off now. All right. So we went over the cave painting, kind of like reaffirmed some stuff with that. And we went over the fact that Fatima could not have been pregnant with the worms from Boyd, since the same episode that she found out that she was pregnant is the same episode that she got the same episode that Ellis got the blood transfusion from Boyd. Now you might say, well, wait a minute, maybe she was pregnant with an actual child, and then something from the worms that was in Boyd's blood transferred over to Ellis, and then Ellis gave that to Fatima and it negated her baby. That may be a thing. Maybe the writers will give us that. But as of right now, unless they give us something, which if they do give it to us, it's going to be like later on, because again, we're getting the effect before the cause. Maybe later on down the road, it'll be revealed that there's something in Ellis's blood that made Fatima's human baby turn into something else. I don't even think that's the case, though. I don't even think that's the case, just because Boyd's Parkinson's has returned. Okay, that's returned. And I'm believing now that when Martin was chained up in the lair, he was imprisoned there and the worms are put inside of him because Martin was being milked for his blood, because his blood had some type of healing properties. We saw that when the worms were put into the Smiley creature became unalived, but in my opinion, he changed a different form into the cicadas, then went into Julie, Marielle, and Randall, and gave Julie the ability to go back to the lair and even time travel. So I don't think that Julie was born with time travel abilities or what she's got going on now with being able to sense stuff. I think it's because of the cicadas that are inside of her, and they're having a different effect between her, Randall, and Marielle. All right, so get it, got it, good. All right. So right now I currently have 70 people watching, 19 likes. If I could get my likes up, please and thank you. And as you already know, right now is members only chat. We'll open up the floodgates a little bit later on for everybody to comment. That's subscribers and then everyone else. So if you become a member, you're first class, you're VIP, and you can be commenting right now. All right, let's go through the episode. Let us go through the episode. All right. So we start off the episode with Boyd and Ellis walking through the forest, just kind of talking about, looking for Fatima. Boyd reveals that he has Parkinson's. It's worse than what it was season 2. Really, really bad. And now we have Fatima. She's in a corner. She feels hopeless. She doesn't know what to do. She's scared and confused. And then here comes Elgen. I know a lot of you all were like, well, Elgen, he's doing the right thing. He's doing a good thing. I don't think so, because he's trapped her in there. I've already played a clip of this part where Elgen was saying, you're not a prisoner here. Okay, you're not a prisoner. You're not a prisoner, but you can't leave.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just silliness, just goofiness. And so what Elgen brings back is a snack for Fatima. Fatima's begging for him to leave or to let her go. He brings Fatima a snack for the baby. Now we know that he was putting pints of blood into jars. Well, guess what? The blood was for Fatima to drink. And at first she's resisting, but then she eats it up, okay? Eats it up drinks it up like it's Kool-Aid. Yeah, I know. So we now know that, and we're gonna see later on in the episode, Fatima becomes more visibly pregnant after drinking the blood. So blood is what fuels this evil baby. And Elgen, he knows the baby is evil or a monster. He's thinking that if we give the kimono woman, his boo thing, this evil creature baby that's drinking blood to grow bigger, everyone can go home. Well, guess what? I'm believing that they are already home. She's basically promising you what you already have.
Pays to win, still loses.
Right. So she drinks up the blood. She tries to fake the funk. She hungry, y'all. She hungry. She chows down. She takes it in one hit. No breaks. No breaks. All right, so it's the opening. Opening is pretty much the same from, I went over playing, trying to do the live stream show here. So I already did the breakdown on the previous, I think it was stream or something. There was the thing that I showed on the previous part of this stream, the little creature looking thing that I equated to maybe giving the townspeople their, matter of fact, let me just show it to you. Let me just show it to you. So on the opening, some new things, at least it was new to me, was I believe this right here are the children. They were not only maybe damaged in the head, but they were also burned. And that's where the screaming comes from. Because if they were just simply stabbed, they wouldn't be screaming. From when Julie went to the cave tunnels, when she time traveled, she went kind of close to where they were doing the ritual, and you hear the one boy, he says it with his whole chest, Onkue. You know, I should play that. I should play that. But one of the children said Onkue with his whole chest, and the rest of the children said Onkui, and then you hear them screaming. And I think the screaming is because they were set on fire. Like a part of the ritual is not just to put them on the slabs of rock, but to burn them. And then maybe after burning them, they were like stabbed or something. But we'll see later on in this episode, you'll see smoke coming from one of the ghoulish children, which I think is the indication that when she was sacrificed, she was burned. And so this is something that was new. And then there was also image of a thicker tree that I equated to the tree of life. All right, so there we go. There we go. For those of you all who wanted me to show the picture, you get the pictures. All right, so there's that. All right, so this next scene is still with Sarah and Tabitha talking to Victor, consoling him. And that's where Sarah starts to kind of hear the voices that she's going to be telling Boyd and Ellis about later on in the episode. So everyone's come back from getting Julie from the ruins. Julie has a seizure. Christy looks her over, says everything looks fine. It's all good. She tells Jim that she was out there with Randall. Now, I ain't gonna lie. My mind was thinking that Jim was going to go to Randall and be like, were you out there in the forest trying to do something with my daughter? He didn't go that route. I'm glad he did not. But Randall basically just tells Jim they went out there. He taught her how to drive. He should spend more time with his family, which he should. Instead of complaining to Tabitha, he should spend more time with his family because he, in my opinion, he does want his family to be together. And he's kind of happy that they're all trapped in From, because they're together versus them splitting apart before they came into Fromville. And this is Ellis and Boyd coming back from a fruitless journey, not being able to find Tabitha, wondering what to do. And then, okay. So later on, Sarah comes in there and tells him something. So this is Donna. She's walking around Colony House, reminiscent of when Fatima had her anniversary party. She's the only character on the show to have the anniversary party. And this is what kind of prompted me to go and look for that clip I just showed you of Fatima kissing someone else in front of Ellis and Julie. And Ellis still married her, simping out. Simping out.
Simping activate.
Yeah, I know. If I would have been there in Colony House seeing someone that I'm interested in kissing somebody else, I'd be like, maybe I should hold off. Anyway, that's just me. So she reminisces, and that's what kind of got me thinking about how did Fatima get pregnant? When did she get pregnant? That's what showed the clip from before. Donna reminisces about this event, and we see the woman right here. This is her right here that she was kissing on. Now, based off the way this show goes, this actress may play a more prominent role in how Fatima got pregnant, because we see it towards the end of the episode. Smiley creature does something that no creature has done on the show before. He runs. That's the first time we've seen an actual creature run. Which means the creatures could have been running the whole time. They just chose not to. And I think that Smiley creature ran because the same things that are talking to Sarah, telling her what to do, where to be, if you don't do this, this other thing will happen. They probably were talking to Smiley creature and told him to stop Miranda from going into the faraway tree, even though she made it. She made it to the faraway tree. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so yeah, we see this actress right here, the one that kissed Fatima. I'm willing to bet that maybe season 4, she may have another role where it shows her somehow putting an embryo inside of Fatima and getting her pregnant. Or maybe it was still the worms from Boyd having the transfusion to Ellis. I know you all are kind of like, dead set on that being the actual way that Fatima got pregnant with this nightmare baby. It can go either way. Maybe we'll see later on. So because Donna is reminiscent of Fatima's celebration there, she's more protective of Fatima now, not really understanding, but doesn't really want to see anything bad happen to her, because Donna reveals later on that Fatima not only brightened up everyone else's world and gave them hope, she gave Donna hope as well. So it's very sad that Fatima's currently going through this at the hands of Elgen. So I'm going to do a poll. I know you all probably wanted me just to keep on with the breakdown, but do you believe that Elgen is still a good person? All right, that's the poll I'm creating. And the reason why I'm making that poll is because even though Elgen has good intentions, he's seeing everything and experiencing everything that he's doing, kidnapping Fatima, giving her his blood, creature baby growing inside of her. He's thinking they're going to go home. Guess what, buddy? You're already home. You're already home. Yeah, you're already home. So what's up with that? But anyway, so Jim, he's getting his Mac on with Tabitha, and he's kind of getting in close. And I think at this moment, he's more understanding of Tabitha. And I think he might have a chance to get back with her until the end of the episode. But anyway, so he does that. He's rubbing on her. Okay. Trying to do his thing. I know you all are. I know some of you all are Jim haters. I like Jim this episode. He didn't do too much. Wasn't Debbie Downer. Wasn't nagging. Wasn't on some madness. And as you can see, he got a good response from Tabitha. That's all he had to do from the get-go. I've been said that. You all were telling me that I was wrong. But guess what? Off screen, he probably blew her back out. Just saying. All right. So Boyd and Ellis, they're kind of discussing the Parkinson's. Ellis is mad that Boyd didn't tell him. I mean, what are you going to do about it? You're not a doctor. What are you going to do except for worry and be a Jim 2.0? What are you going to do about it? But, Boyd, he kind of comes clean about the Parkinson's, which is good that he's sharing the information. And then there's a scene coming up where one of the creatures says, "Boyd, you're okay in there?" Maybe I skipped it. Did I skip it? Yeah, I skipped it. Goes to the window. Now, if you know, like, look at this. The creature, the nurse creature, she kind of jumped back like she was scared a little bit. I don't know if this was the actress doing this or if this was the character that she's portraying doing this. But when she jumped back, she was surprised. I guess because normally she's used to taunting them from the window and rolling off. Well, guess what? Even though she was scared, she's still saying you should just end yourself, buddy. You should just take that, do it to yourself. Yeah. So, Borderlands. All right. Next scene is where Sarah. Oh no, you know what? I made a mistake. Sarah actually gets the whole talking to the voices here, and that's where where she's being told Fatima's close, Fatima's suffering, they're not going to make it in time. And I think the make it in time is for not just Fatima giving birth to something that benefits the evil creatures on the other side, but that Fatima may not even survive the pregnancy. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Because the whole make it in time, I mean, she's got to give birth. She's going to give birth. But I think the make it in time is for her to survive said birth. You all can let me know when you all can comment what you all think about that. Here's Elgen. He's going out here. You see how he's looking around? I'm telling you, dude is looking suspicious. He is suspicious. I'm so glad. Out of 22 votes, to the question, do you believe that Elgen is still a good person? That at least half of you out of 22 votes are saying, no, he's not. Some of you are saying that, yes, he is. That means 11 people believe that Elgen's still a good person, even though he's doing bad things. He's not an anti-hero because, and let me lay out my points, and then I'll get back to the summary. He's keeping this information secret. He's keeping Fatima there, giving her blood, knowing that she has something evil inside of her, not telling everyone else that she's pregnant. Then he's got the nerve, y'all. We'll see it later on. He's got the nerve to team up with Ellis, her husband.
Oh my God.
That's some wicked stuff right there. That's some wicked stuff. If you all believe that he is still a good person, you all need to be his defense attorney. All right, so he goes in there. He goes in. Fatima is taking a part of the bed off to make a weapon. Elgen comes in there looking like he's a kidnapper. Fatima tries to escape. And guess what? Doesn't work. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if he really was trying to be a good person, then all the time that she's escaped and attacked him, he would have let her go. But he chose not to. And that's why I think that, I don't know. I don't really see him as a good person. So it is what it is.
Let's go!
All right. So he forces her back in there. And see, this is the thing. She's pregnant. And he's tussling with her physically, which could hurt the baby. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I just don't see it.
Super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, I just don't see him being good at this point. I just see him as being someone who justifies bad behavior. But anyway, so he forces her back in there. Ellis and Boyd, now they're going back and forth, wondering what to do about Fatima. Let's tell the townspeople. He and Boyd going back and forth. Sarah interrupts them. Let me see. I'm going to just play this part. I'll just go ahead and play this part.
Fatima! I'll talk to Donna.
Okay, great. Let me know how that goes.
Alice, listen.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I don't think this can wait.
It's okay. What's going on?
Is Fatima okay? She's missing. Isn't she?
What the fuck do you know about that? No, what the fuck do you know?
Hey! It's enough. What happened? It's okay.
I heard the voices last night for the first time since the ruins.
What'd they say?
That Fatima didn't leave on her own, that something took her.
Wait, what?
They want you to know that she's close. She's afraid. They were laughing.
Why?
Because they know you won't find her in time. They want you to know you can't save her.
Sounds like I think it was the nurse creature from episode 2 who says you can't save them all. I don't know. So yeah, you can't save her. So now we know the voices that Sarah's been listening to, demon radio, creature radio, is just that. Demon radio and creature radio. So out of the poll, do you believe that Elgen is still a good person? 42% say yes out of 38 votes. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want to end this poll and ask you all, do you believe that Elgen should be babysitting your kids? Just to hear what some of y'all would say, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that at all. Yeah, some of y'all going to be missing kids. Anyway, let's soldier on. All right, so Victor, he's frustrated, throwing stuff out of his window, making a spectacle. He almost hit some people too. And so Victor comes storming out of his room. Turns out he's the one that Acosta and everyone was trying to calm down. He grabs an axe. Spoiler alert. He's going to use the axe to chop down the faraway tree that's supposed to go to the lighthouse. And he's doing that because he found his mother outside the tree and he's just frustrated about everything. And he's going to chop it down because it's like, what good is it? What good is it? And also he's blaming himself for telling his mom, Miranda, about what the boy in white told Christopher. And he blames himself for Miranda losing her life outside of the bottled faraway tree. There's an argument for that, but I think that with what we're going to see at the end of this episode with Tabitha, I think Victor will finally be able to let go of the guilt, let go of the anger, let go of blaming himself for what happened to Miranda, because Miranda's a grown woman. Miranda's a grown woman, and she made a choice, and unfortunately, that choice cost her life. So the Matthews, they go into the diner. Turns out that Ethan was a helper off screen. I'm telling you all that when the show is not airing something, or as far as the episode, they're doing stuff in the town. And this is no different. Bacchus has taken over the diner. You know, rest in peace to Tien Chen. Donna's reminiscent of her sister. And she's thinking about going on because of not just what happened to her sister, but what Fatima's done to inspire her. So this was a pretty good moment, and we got a clear shot of her sister. I think we had another shot of her and her sister season 1, but now we have another clear shot. And as you can see, no, her sister is not a creature. Not a creature at all. All right, so thank you, Carlos, to becoming a channel member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Salute, Carlos. Welcome aboard. Thank you for being a channel member. Appreciate it. Enjoy the emojis that are now available to you and enjoy being first class. Really appreciate it. Donna's talking to Boyd. Donna's letting Boyd know she's more understanding. They're not going to tell the townspeople that Fatima unalived Tilly. I think that secret's going to come back to bite them later on, but they got so many secrets. It is what it is. It is what it is. And the reason why I say that is because on a previous broadcast, I said that Elgen told Boyd and company about his dream, about the boy in white telling him the nursery rhyme. Well, it really wasn't the dream or the nursery rhyme that motivated or prompted Boyd to think about going back to the lair with the torch to see what's in there to try to save them. Really, it was the wedding of Ellis and Fatima. So the irony that Elgen thinks that the baby saved the town, but in actuality, the cringe, boring, draining scene of Ellis and Fatima getting married is really what saved the town, which I think that's kind of a good thing because it shows that something positive in a nightmare is what's going to help them possibly have a better existence there in the trap that is Fromville. But again, because Boyd, Donna, and everyone else is not sharing information, Elgen doesn't know that. And he thinks that the baby, him learning about the pregnancy, which in his eyes made him remember the dream, and he told everyone the dream, he thinks that all that contributed. No, what mainly contributed is the marriage between the woman you kidnapped and the husband you're gaslighting so that the nightmare baby can be born. And I'm thinking that is probably the Antichrist, okay? Yeah, Elgen is helping Damien be born into the world, thinking he's doing a good thing. No, you're not doing a good thing, buddy. Not doing a good thing at all. All right, so uh-oh. Am I still? Yeah, looking like YouTube is saying I'm not live. Maybe I'm still live. Let me do some troubleshooting right quick. Let me do some troubleshooting. All right, let me do some troubleshooting. In the meantime, this is your chance to thumb up the video, subscribe if you have not done that, and share your social media. Be right back. All right, sorry about that. So weird. YouTube was telling me that not live anymore. And now it's saying excellent condition. So the same way that YouTube lied to me, the boy in white, later on this episode, will be lying to Victor.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Yeah, everybody lying. The boy in white's a liar. YouTube's a liar. Everything lies here. So what's going on, Vanessa? Welcome. Thank you for joining the chat. Hello, hello. Thank you for being a channel member. Salute, salute, Vanessa. Thank you for joining us on this good old Sunday. All right, so fast forwarding on. Ethan's a helper. Ethan's blaming himself for what happened to Julie. He goes to the bathroom. Then it's announced they're having a meeting. And I like how Donna was telling Boyd to bring his bell and sound the alarm or sound the bell for a community meeting. I thought that was pretty cool. Boyd gives a very impactful and motivated speech. People not looking too thrilled. Not looking too thrilled. I think it's because the rumor has already started circulating that Fatima did something to Tilly. So people are not really too thrilled to do it. But I think because they see Donna up there, they're going to go ahead and search for Fatima. Yeah, these don't look like they're too thrilled faces. These faces look like, we're not really in the game like we used to be. Yeah. Yeah. Not looking too thrilled. All right. So as of right now, it's been 19 minutes that I put out the poll. Do you believe that Elgen is still a good person? Out of 60 votes, 46% actually say that they still believe he's a good person. I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll. I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll so we can stop the gaslighting. So we're gonna stop the poll with you all gaslighting me. It's all good. All right. He gives the speech. Well, guess he wants people to split up in twos. I disagree with it being twos. I think it should really be 4 or more, because what if one of you turns on the other? What if one person goes down? That's just me. Well, guess who shows up, y'all? Guess who shows up to see his handiwork? Yeah. Mr. I'm good still. Yeah, Elgen shows up looking puzzled. I don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. So okay, so do you believe that Elgen's still a good person? 45% say yes out of 61 votes. So y'all 45%ers who still believe that Elgen's a good person. I think some of you all would be showing up like Elgen, acting like you ain't just do what's going to have us use time, energy, and manpower to go look for someone that you hid. To look for someone that you hid.
Pick a struggle, fam. Pick
Right.
a struggle.
Right. Elgen out here kidnapping people. Y'all 45%ers are just like Elgen kidnapping Fatima, and y'all gonna have us go look for her. What you all are basically co-signing is someone who's a friend of someone breaking into that person's house, robbing them, then coming over later when the friend finds the wreckage and everything stolen, acts surprised they got robbed, and then goes and helps them look for the stuff. That's what those of you all who are still kind of like giving Elgen the benefit of the doubt, that's what you guys are doing. Yeah. So Boyd wants everyone to pair off in the twos. Jim goes with Ethan. Julie goes with Tabitha. Guess who wants to team up with the husband of the person they kidnapped? Look at this dude. Not this scene right here. Look at this dude. Hey, you want to partner up? Now, at this moment, I thought, okay, maybe Elgen will reveal that he kidnapped Fatima. Maybe he will take Ellis to her, which if he would have done that, I would have been like, you know what? Okay, maybe he's confused. Maybe he's desperate. Maybe he thinks that going and do this Lone Ranger thing is a maybe it's a positive thing in his eyes. No, he teams up with Ellis. Talks about maybe this is what's happening to Fatima's a good thing. Maybe she'll be, not maybe, she'll be okay. He's saying all this while her husband is losing his mind, and Elgen could have told the truth but chose not to. Yeah, I know. The boy in white lies, Elgen lies. So Fatima, she's there. She's pregnancy pains. She discovers a latch on the ground. She's gonna try to dig up the latch to try to open it up. No dice. So now we know that if being pregnant with this evil baby does give her super strength, which allowed her to overpower Tilly, it just picks and chooses when it wants to do that. So Acosta, she's going around with Donna, doing a kind of complaining thing. Acosta's complaining. Yeah, Acosta's annoying. Donna's like, if you really want to be a good cop, then help us find Fatima. Shut the up. All right, so this right here, I'm telling you all, I at least got one of a million theories right. Boyd has a heart-to-heart with Kenny because Kenny used to be the deputy. And he made Kenny the deputy because he didn't want to put Ellis in harm's way, being a good dad by doing that. Boyd has a heart-to-heart with Kenny, tells him the Parkinson's has returned, and he informally gives leadership of the township to Kenny when something happens to Boyd. Kenny says, I can't be the leader, but I will be your deputy again. I'm telling you, Kenny is going to end up being the new leader of Fromville, especially because Donna's been losing her stuff. Boyd is getting weakened because of his sickness. I think Kenny is going to be the one to be the new leader going forward. I predicted it, and I think that's the direction we're going to take, and I'm happy about that. I am happy about that. So Carlos says, happy to be a member, loves my breakdowns. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. And after we get episode 10 next week, I'm gonna still do more theory videos on From in addition to other stuff. It'll be easier to do theory videos after season 3 concludes because I won't be throwing a theory out there and then next week it gets debunked, okay? I'm looking at you, Jasper. Yeah, I know. I had the whole Jasper thing as a theory, made a bunch of notes, was like, okay, Jasper's the big bad. Jasper's just a dummy, y'all. Jasper is just a dummy.
That was sus.
Yeah, I know. Jasper made some of us look like dummies. But anyway, so Kenny agrees to be the deputy. That's cool. Kenny's back in the saddle. All things considered, especially because Boyd knew what Sarah did to his dad, kept it a secret, kept her alive. Sarah should be in the box by now. I guess Kenny's let that go. And the fact that Boyd witnessed his mom be unalived by the creatures, Kenny's okay with that because most people would be kind of suspicious. Like, wait a minute. It seems like everything that's negative that's been happening is circling around you, and yet you're still leader of the town. So Kenny's let that go, and I guess he's on the winning side, and he's going to be leader soon. So Jade, he's doing his own thing. He heard the bell in town, didn't want to go to the town meeting because he said to Ethan in one of the previous episodes, anytime there's a meeting of 2 or more people or more than 2 people, it doesn't really go well. I think that town meeting went pretty well. Looking for Fatima, even though the person that kidnapped her was right there looking at his handiwork. So Jade is configuring the bottle tree I think he thinks that something is something special about the actual bottles. So he's configuring that. He's kind of doodling away with that. And then he sees Christopher. Christopher's on top of the porch with Jasper, just sitting there, not saying anything. Jade is basically like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Guess what? Christopher's not over you. He's not over you. Look at that. Jade talking crap. I don't even care anymore. And guess what? Guess what? Yeah, I know. So, yeah, so Christopher, I think Christopher, maybe that's the spirit of Christopher, maybe an evil entity taking Christopher's form, whatever, is still messing with Jade. And spoiler alert, for the end of the episode, I think the title From is not about where the townspeople are from as far as location. I think it means, who do you come from, like reincarnation. Just hear me out. I know that's a stretch. It's a yoga stretch. I actually wrote down what I thought From stood for. I'm glad I didn't make a whole video about that because I've been looking crazy. But I thought From at first meant like FROM, fully relying on man, or FROM, fully relying on man, FROM, force, reality, occasion, mechanics. But guess what? That's not a theory anymore. I think that From, a matter of fact, let me show you this. I made this into a thumbnail. Let me show you this. I think it's a little bit different than just that. I think it's really about, who do you come from? Who do you come from? Let me get Jasper out the way. So I think it's about who do you come from. So at the end of the episode, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm gonna say this while it's fresh in my mind. So what I believe, based on what we're going to see at the end of the episode, hopefully you've already seen it, that Tabitha comes from Miranda. And I think at the end, I'm going to show you, Tabitha didn't want to be touched by Julie, but was okay with being touched by Victor. So I think that Tabitha and Miranda are kind of like merging together with this touch ability that Tabitha now has. And I think this is a stretch, maybe a yoga stretch, but I think that the touch ability came from the fact that she was pushed out of the lighthouse, went into Maine, and went around the regular world. And when she was brought back in, she just came back with this ability. Who knows? Because she's been touching Victor the whole series. She's been touching stuff, entering rooms, no problem. Now all of a sudden she had this ability. Maybe it's Maine, maybe it's being in the outside world. I don't know. But now I think From is about, who do you come from? And there are certain characters on the show that this pertains to. So I think, what I've said before in the previous broadcast and really content in general, that there's three main characters to From. There's Boyd, Jade, Tabitha. I've been saying that. And I still think that's true. So with Tabitha, she comes from Miranda. And I think because Jade has been seeing Christopher, Jade comes from Christopher, like reincarnation, okay? Which kind of goes back to what Abby was saying, that if she quote unquote wakes everyone up, that they'll be somewhat free. I think the waking people up or people losing their life means maybe they get reincarnated or they're just free from the nightmare, and whoever is, I guess, chosen. Maybe this applies to everyone in the world of From, or maybe this is just certain characters, Boyd, Jade, and Tabitha. But I definitely believe that there's reincarnation involved, which means that either there's reincarnation and no afterlife, or maybe there's reincarnation for some people, afterlife for others. We don't know. Maybe we'll find out episode 10. So I believe that Tabitha comes from Miranda, and Jade comes from Christopher, and maybe Boyd comes from Martin. Because Martin, in my opinion, all a theory, I believe that Martin was chained up in the lair, and he may have been the original Boyd, Maybe he was the last one left from his town. Everyone else became unalived, and he was just held prisoner, given the worms to be milked for his blood, because the worms give blood healing properties, and that's why the worms were healing Boyd, because Boyd's blood healed Ellis. So I think the worms were more of a healing property. Martin was being confined in the lair for him to heal something else or create something else. And I wouldn't be surprised if Martin's blood was maybe made to make creatures and other monsters. We don't know. So if based off this theory, that means that Martin was currently held in the lair, and that's how when Boyd went through the faraway tree directed by the boy in white, Boyd went to not the past or the future, but that actual layer in another dimension was there the whole time. Boyd was able to access it through the faraway tree. And when Julie threw him the rope, he went up there and met Martin. And I think Martin somewhat recognized Boyd. That's why he said Boyd had a nice face. Maybe that reminded Martin of himself when he was younger, before he got the worms and became captured. And he gave Boyd the worms to kind of like continue on with the mission, if you will. So I believe that Martin sacrificed himself, or maybe he got caught, and that would kind of further explain why Martin was not just unalived, because the same way that maybe the town or Fromville or the forest or the creatures are trying to break Boyd and mess with Boyd, maybe Martin was kind of given the same deal or the same, we'll just say, experience. And so he was being tortured because they just liked to break people. I don't know. So that's what I think about From. And so on here I have the word form, which I think that form is, well, but form is an anagram of from. So Tabitha is from Miranda, but I also think that Tabitha is a different form of Miranda. So it's kind of like reincarnation, but a different form. And that's maybe how Tabitha is able to not just be a reincarnation of Miranda, but to remember certain things about her. And we see that in the flashbacks. And so then I had morph, which is M-O-R-F. M-O-R-F is another way of saying, and let me read it to you. I'm not going to show it, but let me read it to you. So M-O-R-F is a Microsoft term. It's a lightweight API-driven platform for automatically generating forms that can be easily embedded into existing systems, apps, and sites. Some people were saying that maybe From is some type of matrix or game or virtual reality. So I thought I just kind of added that in there. Maybe it's the Easter egg from the writers, but morph would go into some of y'all's theories of you all believing that this is some type of simulation and, you know, that type of thing. And then also, when I saw morph, I laughed because morph could also, whatever mind. So yeah, so if you know, it could be one of these three, maybe all three, but I do believe that form is an anagram of from, and morph could be like another play on words or anagram for from, where it's kind of all connected. Okay, so everyone's theory is valid. There really has been no bad theories so far, so I'm kind of happy about that. So currently have 122 people liking, 56 likes. If I get the thumbs up or likes up, I'd appreciate that. So Carlos says, I really think Jasper is still going to play a key part. You think so as far as Jasper at this point? Jasper? So, okay, so Carlos, if you're still here, what could Jasper be doing? I mean, to me, I think it's established that Jasper is somewhat of a red herring. So what could Jasper be doing? What could we get from Jasper? I'm kind of curious about that. You know what? Let me put a poll about that. Let me ask everybody. Do you believe that Jasper will still play a role? I don't know. I think the Jasper situation has ended. Personally, I think the focus is more on we know everything we need to know about Christopher at this point, and now it's more focused on what are the characters going to do with the information they've been presented, including Jade? That's just me. Now, you all may have a different take on it. Oh, and also, I guess since we're already here and you already see it on the screen, the boy in white, he lied again. So the boy in white says that the tree that Victor was cutting down was important. And Victor was asking the boy in white to help them. The boy in white replied, "I tried with Christopher." Christopher ain't here anymore, man. What's up with that? Christopher is not here anymore. So, and we here, you could try with us, man. What's up with that? Yeah, we here now. Christopher's gone. Well, the boy in white said that he's not going to help anyone. He says, "I think you need to learn for yourselves. It's the only way you'll understand." Mr. Boy in White, you've been helping us. You helped Victor and Julie get away from Colony House when Colony House was infiltrated by the creatures, when Kevin was simping out. When Kevin was simping out and he opened up the window for Jasmine, you helped everyone escape.
Simping activate.
Yeah, Kevin just messed everything up for everybody. So you helped then when Boyd and Sarah were in the forest and it was raining really hard, and you telepathically told Sarah, that she was right. This place is angry now. You told them to go into the faraway tree to escape. So you're saying that you're not going to be involved, but you've been involved. So I think that just like with the whole idea of a form where Miranda's next form is Tabitha, Tabitha was reincarnated as Miranda, I think the boy in white has been, like, his form is now also taking place where he's evolving and getting older. Because the boy in white says everything's getting older here, and he looks up. Well, I'll show that in a minute, towards the end of the breakdown. But even the boy in white is changing. And so in the last stream I did, I was saying that the boy in white had his fist balled up. I think that was actually Vox Smith, cold out there, because Victor has on this big coat. Everyone's basically got coats on and pants, whereas Vox Smith he's got on a short sleeve shirt and shorts. So I think that he was just cold, and it wasn't him just having his fist balled up because he was angry. So yeah, but he is a liar still. The boy in white is still a liar. Everything lies there. All right, back to the breakdown. All right, so let's see. All right, here we go. So Jade almost falls. Henry comes up asking about the bottle tree. And basically, Jade explains to Henry later on that Victor is not someone that needs to be saved. Victor is like Tarzan. I completely understand. And Victor doesn't need fixing. And I think that kind of foreshadows what the boy in white's going to be saying about not helping anyone, because you need to learn for yourselves. It's the only way you'll understand. I'm thinking like, well, Victor has been understanding this whole time for like 40 years. But anyway, so to me, that was a really good lesson for Henry. And I think Henry will be more supportive for Victor, like Jim is more supportive for Tabitha, and get out of the way versus being in the way. This is where Victor goes to the faraway tree. I just said I was going to do it later, but it's going to happen right now. And so with a grown man voice says, "Stop." That's where they have the conversation. And you know what? Let me go ahead and play this. Let me go ahead and play the interaction. Even though I just kind of read it. Just read it, but still going to play it.
Stop!
can't do that.
The bad tree does bad things.
It's important.
Why? Why is it important? Why won't you help us?
Because I tried. With Christopher. I think you need to learn for yourselves. It's the only way you'll understand.
You look different now.
So do you.
All those years you look the same. Why are you changing now?
Everything's changing now.
Is that bad? I don't know what to do. You tell me how I can help them. Please. You're supposed to be my friend.
I am your friend.
And help me. Please. Please help me. Just tell me what to do.
Don't cut down that tree.
Where are you going? No, come back! Come back!
All right, so the boy in white didn't want to give any answers, but he said, don't cut down the tree. The tree is important. So here's what I'm thinking. That just like with, we'll just say deities and a religious belief system, a lot of them are not, if you believe in it, they're not hands-on with worshipers or life on earth because they want us to learn for ourselves. The boy in white's no different. Unfortunately, the boy in white's been lying because he has been helping and he said, don't cut down the tree. So my thing is this. If you're going to be hands off and not interfere, then just do that. Don't pick and choose when you want to interfere. Because if I was Victor, I would go ahead and continue to chop down the tree until the boy in white gives me answers. And here's why. Because if the boy in white has answers and he talked to Christopher didn't do what he wanted, Christopher's not here anymore, he could talk to us. And if he doesn't want to talk to us, I'd make him talk to us by us chopping down the trees because they don't have anything to lose. Because no one's going to go through that faraway tree after what they've seen what happened to Dale. Only person who'd be able to go through it and make a difference would be Jade. Is Jade going to go through the faraway tree? Tabitha went through it and she was fine. Jade may not necessarily be the same way. I don't know. But the boy in white needs to have an actual conversation versus saying, stop, don't chop down the tree. It's important. And then when asked questions, he's just silent. So it is what it is. So yeah, I think, I know last time I said that the boy in white was angry, but no, Vox was just cold out there. And I'd be cold too. I mean, look at Victor. He's got a coat on, pants, and you as an actor have to do you're probably doing multiple takes at that. You're doing your scenes in a short sleeve shirt and some shorts. Yeah, he's cold, y'all. So he wasn't angry. He was cold. Yeah. So yeah, very cryptic, no answers, no information. The people are on their own. And I would be asking, okay, if you're not going to give us any answers, how have we been doing so far? Who was the voice on the radio that Jim was talking to? Ask questions like that. If you're not going to give us the answers to the test, at least give us some hints. Nope, the boy in white gives nothing. He gives nothing, and he's wondering why people are failing. But you know what? Now that Tabitha has this new ability where she can touch stuff or touch people and have visions, or she can enter into an area and kind of sense stuff, I think Tabitha's gift is going to be a game changer. Maybe the boy in white pushing Tabitha out of the lighthouse, and before that saying this is the only way. Maybe this was the only way to give you the gift to be able to sense stuff, so that instead of me telling you what to do, you can actually see it and experience it to know how to guide yourself. There's a concept known as autodidactism. You know what? I butchered that. Here's how it sounds.
Autodidactism.
Yeah, that's what it is. And that that means that basically you're doing self-study. It means self-study where no teacher, no instructor, where you are given books, videos, everything that is normally in a classroom setting. And if this was a classroom, you'd be picking it up, learning it on your own. And I think that's what's going on with Fromville, is that they're given the same things they would be given in addition to the boy in white. The boy in white is taken out of the equation, and now they're having to stumble and fumble on their own. And I personally agree with this. So I'm going to do a poll. I just want to know what you all think. Do you believe it is good for the boy in white to be hands off? So I agree with this idea. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? So I created two polls. My bad, y'all. So the previous poll was, or the current poll rather, do you believe that Jasper will still play a role? 38% say yes. 62 or 63% say no out of 35 votes. That's out of 117 people watching. So I'm going to end this because that was 12 minutes ago. I think everybody who wanted the votes was going to be already have voted. And the fact that 39% say that Jasper is still going to play a role is interesting. When I open up the poll, we'll see how you all would think that. And right now, the next poll is, do you believe that it is good for the boy in white to be hands off? So I can't vote, but I'm thinking that it is a good thing. And just in my personal life, or just kind of seeing things in the world, observable reality, if you will, people do learn more if they're self-sufficient versus giving them a handout. And I know it's going to be controversial, but in my opinion, things like, let's say, welfare, it's a necessary evil, but a lot of people become somewhat hooked on it, and they stay on it more than like 3 to 6 months, which is it's designed for. People spend whole lifetimes on it, and it hinders their progress economically, education wise. It hinders them because they focus more on arranging their life to stay on the program versus using the program to improve their situation and getting off. And I know some people may be upset by me saying that, but there's a lot of people that I personally have known, maybe you're different, that I've heard people say, I do not want to work too many hours at this job because I don't want to lose my benefits. I don't want to lose my stamps. And there's a lot of people that I've personally know that they would rather live in, we'll just say, low income and negative conditions because they don't want to lose their benefits, as opposed to pulling themselves up by their bootstrap. That's just me. I can already just feel the energy. Some of you all might be angry. I do think that it is necessary. Like if you just lost your job, you had unexpected expense, unexpected event, you get on it for 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe even a year. But there are people who spend decades on it, and it becomes generational poverty that they focus more on getting on programs and staying on programs as opposed to improving their situation. I digress. So I personally do believe that what the boy in white is saying might be a valid thing, because he gave Christopher the answers to the test. Christopher chose not to use those answers, and whatever happened to him happened. I was thinking maybe the boy in white eliminated him. I think it's still a possibility. But if what the boy in white was saying is true, Christopher was given the answers to the test and chose other answers. So I would imagine that it would be a good thing that people use maybe something like Tabitha's ability to be able to see what happened in the past, to experience stuff, to be able to better make decisions so they can support themselves. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So based off of the poll, I can't see the results. It's so weird. I can't even see the results of it. I don't know. All right, let me. Oh, you know what? That's why. Okay, that's why. That's why. I clicked the wrong option, y'all. My bad. I clicked the wrong option. Do you believe it is good for the to be hands off and not give any information? So my bad, y'all. Sorry about that. For those of you all who are wanting to do your polling duties, or do your voting duties rather, I had the wrong option going, so sorry about that. All right, let's go. Let's keep going on. And this is where Ellis and Elgen, they're going around. Well, they're going around the forest in that scene. Jim and Ethan, they have a good heart-to-heart, a dad and son moment. They hear Phone Thomas on the radio. He sounded menacing as they were leaving. He sounds evil. I think it is still somewhat a value add to ask questions, to hear what the answers are. Ethan said he's over it. It's not Thomas. He's good. And that's their choice. So I'm thinking that it was an alternate Thomas. Ethan doesn't believe it's Thomas. I don't believe it's Thomas. I would talk to the voice to see what it says, but they chose not to. It is what it is. So Tabitha and Julie, they are going around looking for Fatima in a lot of hiding places. This is where Julie reveals to Tabitha about what she experienced, maybe being a dream, and she heard her in the cave. And now we're going to see the ghoulish girl who's by herself. All right, so I'm going to play this without any audio. No audio is needed. And I wonder if I can, I'm going to try. So Julie doesn't see anything Tabitha does, which I think this means that Tabitha has not only got this new power of being able to touch stuff and see things in the past and have hallucinations like that, but I think that Tabitha is the chosen one, just like Jade is a chosen one, just like Boyd is a chosen one. It's a whole bunch of chosen ones running around here. So Julie does not see it. I think Julie's powers is because of the cicadas that were inside of her, and she can time travel like that. I don't think that Julie is necessarily attuned to the place like Tabitha is as far as being able to see. You can kind of see it. Okay, you know what? That was, you know what, y'all? The first time I watched it, I thought it was smoke coming up, but no, that's her actual hair. It's really windy out. It was just the hair. It was just the hair. Oh man, just the hair. My bad, y'all, my bad. So right now, currently, the poll is asking, do you believe that Jasper will still play a role? So that poll is over with. So the next poll, the new poll, 103 people watching, 66 likes. If I can get my likes up, please and thank you. So the poll is asking, do you believe it is good for the boy in white to be hands off and not give any information? 54% say no. Okay, that's cool. It's cool. And then I have 46% saying yes. So it's kind of split out of 13 votes. Not everybody's voting. It's kind of split between the people who did vote. It's all good. It's all good. And this is where Jade and Henry have the conversation. And Jade mentions to Henry that Victor's not broken. He's like Tarzan, and you can't chastise him for not being able to use a fork. Really good analogy. And so this is where Elgen, he's playing in Ellis's face. He's playing in Ellis's face. And the reason why I say he's playing in Ellis's face is because he's the one who kidnapped Fatima. He knows where Fatima is. They're out there looking for Fatima. He decides to team up with Fatima's husband, who is visibly, verbally, and emotionally distraught because he doesn't know where his wife is. And Elgen is just kind of like, maybe it's a good thing of what's happening to Fatima. Like, really? It's a good thing, my guy. It's a good thing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's crazy, y'all.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I know. And some of you all voted that Elgen is still a good person, even though he's playing in Ellis's face. I digress. All right, so it's almost as if Elgen is kind of like pleading his case to Ellis before the information comes out about what he did. Like he's almost like he's somewhat rationalizing and justifying to Ellis to somewhat maybe get Ellis's validation, to somewhat seek his approval, even though he's going to do what he wants to do. It just kind of came across in this scene that Elgen was somewhat trying to sell the idea that what's happening is a good thing, even though everyone's freaking out because the ends justify the means. We'll see episode 10, okay? We will see episode 10.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Yeah, we'll see episode 10 what happens, because Fatima's got to give birth. If Fatima survives the birth, what happens to Elgen if the home that they're referring to, they are already there? And so Fatima is trying to use the new like trap door that she's found, and the ghoulish, the kimono woman, she goes to Fatima, tells her to be quiet because Victor just came into the cellar area. So the kidnapper number 2, doesn't want Fatima to make any noise, because if they discover where Fatima is, the evil side's going to lose. And the ghoulish child, I didn't say this in the previous part, but the ghoulish child led Tabitha and Julie to the area, I believe, to find Fatima, but Victor was down there sulking, and Victor got majority of Tabitha's attention. See, look, this doesn't look like someone that's doing things to help them escape Fromville. Because if the kimono woman really wanted to help the people, the kimono woman would just come out and just say it. Or would have Elgen tell other people. And maybe they'll buy into it because, I mean, Fatima's got to give birth to whatever she gives birth to. And if it looks like a creature, I doubt that they're going to want to keep this creature, demon, Damien baby. I just doubt it.
Slayer.
Yeah, I doubt they would want to keep the baby. I mean, maybe they may unalive the baby, but the way I look at it is like this. If you really want to help us get home, whatever we do with the baby, you be cool with. So this scene right here, to me, is further proof that Elgen and his boo, the kimono woman, they up to no good. They are up to no good. Yeah. So she tells her to be quiet and forces her to be quiet. And that's where Tabitha and Julie are somewhat pointed in the direction of where Fatima is. Goes down there, turns on the light. Victor's in darkness, sulking, being sad. Tabitha activated Tabitha's ability or powers to where she was able to see Miranda. Miranda may have had the same experience as Tabitha. Maybe Miranda is from someone else. And I think the idea of being from someone else is somewhat disconnects you to the familial bond you have with your own child. Because after Tabitha has this vision, she wants to be touched by Victor, but not by Julie. And I'll show you that in a minute. So this is where she kind of has the hallucination or flashback of Miranda. And I think at this point, Tabitha realizes that she comes from Miranda, okay? From y'all, from. I believe that's the whole point of the name of the show, From. It's about who do you come from, like reincarnation, to Miranda. Now, I was coming with the theory that Miranda went into the tree and fell from the sky. Not so. I think that not only is... Now, okay, there's two ways you can look at this. There's two ways I'm willing to accept that this is what it is. Number one, this could be us as a passive viewer seeing what happens to Miranda because it's Tabitha remembering who she's from. Okay? So this could be Tabitha remembering being Miranda in a previous life and being reincarnated, because it's possible. Miranda lost her life when Victor was 10. He's 50 now. Tabitha's in her 40s. That's very much possible that Tabitha was reincarnated from Miranda. Now, that's the number one way I'm looking at it. The number two way I'm looking at it, giving you all some fan service, okay? Giving you all some fan service for people who are like Team Eloise, is that what we're seeing is Tabitha remembering being Eloise and hiding and watching her mom Miranda become unalived by the Smiley creature. It could be either way. It could be either way. It could be that Tabitha is a reincarnated version of Miranda and she comes from Miranda, or this point of view is Eloise crouching and hiding and seeing her mom attempt to go into the faraway tree, because Miranda could be running instead of walking because she's trying to lure the creatures away from her daughter. And maybe that's the reason why Miranda didn't go into the faraway tree, because she knows her daughter was out there. So it could be either one. And I'm going to go with Tabitha comes from Miranda. However, my second theory is that Tabitha could be Eloise and she's hiding and she's watching the last moments of her mother, Miranda. You don't know if Tabitha is experiencing what actually happened with Miranda, or she was Eloise and she's hiding and she's crouched down and scared. Because why would Tabitha right now be crying if we're seeing Miranda running around? So, it leans more towards Tabitha really is Eloise reincarnated, or maybe she left Fromville and grew up somewhere. But to me, this will be the reason why Tabitha's crying now, as opposed to after the Smiley creature gets Miranda. So it could be either way, or it could be option number 3, that Tabitha is just seeing a vision of Miranda, and Tabitha is neither Miranda or Eloise. It could be option 1, 2, or 3. You know what? We're gonna do a poll. Matter of fact, let me just finish playing this out, because the episode's almost over with. I'm gonna do a poll to see which one do you all think, if it's 1, 2, or 3, maybe all the above if you're just kind of like want to play it safe. But to me, and Miranda's just running around, is because, and now this shot right here could, of course, not be Eloise unless Eloise climbed up in a tree. So as you see, it's so even though we can see Miranda, the expectation is that it's dark. She has no light. She doesn't know where she's going. But Miranda's able to make it to the bottle tree because she can hear it. So she makes it to the bottle tree because she can hear it, but she can't see anything. It's dark. And I think she heard the Smiley creature, and that's what made her turn around and be afraid, because she doesn't know what it is. And so she hears something, but if you notice, Miranda just stands there while she's hearing something because she can't see because it's dark. And this is the first time, y'all. First time we've seen the creatures run. And Smiley creature was doing a whole sprint. Doing a whole sprint. Yeah, doing a whole sprint. This is the first time we've seen them morph and sprint and attack a prey. And I think it's because Smiley creature, the forest, the evil, was trying to prevent Miranda from going into the faraway tree. Boom, there you go. There it is. Smiley sprinted, caught Miranda and took her out, and then Victor finds her the next day. Hopefully you didn't hear me burp, y'all. I tried to push mute earlier. If you heard it, I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, so right now, I'm going to currently open up. We're opening up the chat to subscribers, those who have been subscribed for 5 minutes or longer. And then after that, I'll open it up to everybody. But right now, we currently have a poll. The poll is asking, do you believe it is good for the boy in white to be hands off and not give any information? At 17 minutes, you had enough time to vote. Out of 37 votes, we currently have 35% who believe yes, it is good that the boy in white is not giving any information. 65% say no. So out of 38 votes, majority of you believe that the boy in white should be giving information. Well, hey, Christopher said, you're a liar. Everything lies here. I don't know. I mean, the boy in white's been positive so far, but based off of what Victor remembered, Christopher saying, I don't know. But I mean, I do kind of understand, because the townspeople, they've done a poor job with exchanging information and giving information, having everybody be a part of the decision-making process, which to me is why Elgen believes that what he and Kimono, his boo, are doing is a good thing, because Elgen didn't have all of the pieces to the puzzle, and that's why he thinks that he's a savior, but he's actually not that. Yeah, Elgen thinks that he's doing a good thing, but he's not. He is not. So that's what it is. All right, so yeah, that was From Season 3, Episode 9, Revelations Part 1. Did you like it? What do you think about that? I still believe that From is an anagram for form. And even though it's possible it could be that Tabitha's Eloise, my money is on that Tabitha is a reincarnated version of Miranda, as in Tabitha comes from Miranda, and Miranda's form, which is an anagram of From, is Tabitha. And they are both connected and now one and the same. And that's why Tabitha was freaking out, because she remembers experiencing being afraid in the forest, running around, being scared, and then being unalived by the Smiley creature. And then also morph, for those of you all who believe that we're in a simulation as far as Fromville. Morph is a Microsoft term for something being turned into something else. And the boy in white is still a liar. He said he wasn't going to help. He's hands off. You ain't been hands off the whole series, sir. You have not been hands off the whole series. You should just go ahead and keep the same energy and keep helping us, because obviously you helping us is somehow helping you. So help us, help you. We can help each other and solve this mystery and get up out of here. Because Sarah said in season 1, the boy in white's not a boy at all. So I guess the boy in white's going to be getting older. Everything's changing, like the boy in white was telling Victor. But just the fact that the boy in white told Sarah that the boy in white wants to help but doesn't know how in season 1. But then he's been helping people season 1, 2, and now all of a sudden season 3, he's got the answers but he doesn't want to give it. Come on, sir, you suspicious. Sir, you are suspicious. You're suspicious, sir. You're suspicious.
Game over.
Yeah, straight suspect. Straight suspect. Simi Tom says, I agree. She seems to be a reincarnation of Victor's mom. Seeing Smiley run freaked me out. Boy in white sus, very sus. Exactly. I wouldn't trust him. I understand where Christopher's coming from. I wouldn't trust him either. Because when people were first coming into town, you could have been making yourself known, giving the answers, and Victor was there with you for like 40 years. So you kicking it with Victor, hanging out, you're his friend, you're not gonna give him the answers? I mean, like what's going on? Like you could have been the person or thing to socialize Victor, give him the answers, give him 40 years of prep time. Do you know that Batman would have loved to have 40 years of prep time to prepare for Fromville? And you don't even want to give them 40 seconds. Just madness. Straight madness. I just don't get it. I don't get it, sir. I don't get it. Just don't get it. All right, so right now, the chat is currently opened up to everyone. Anyone. We'll just hang out for a minute to kind of hear everyone's thoughts, give you a chance to weigh in. What did you think about the episode 9? What do you think about my theory in the very beginning, if you weren't here for it, where I kind of broke down where Fatima was already pregnant when Ellis got the blood transfusion from Boyd after Boyd gave the worms to Smiley Creature. So Fatima could not have gotten pregnant by the worms. What do you think about that? I think they're going to give us the answer to how Fatima got pregnant, maybe season 4, maybe episode 10, who knows? What do you all think as far as the big red thing in the cave painting? I think that's one of the creatures. You might think that's something else, like the big thing that pulled on the tent that Boyd and Sarah was in season 1 that dragged them to the lighthouse. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the big red thing is what was on top of the settlement, the log cabins out there at the settlement. Personally, I think that the reason why I think it's got to be a creature is because the only thing that would be down there long enough to want to actually paint something would be a creature, especially because they're painting the symbol. Now, it could be the boy in white painting the symbol or painting the whole cave painting. It could be the boy in white. But why would he put that down there for the creatures to have and not topside for the humans to use if he's on the side of the humans? So I think that I don't think it's something else down there with the creatures. I think it's just the creatures, and that one of the creatures made the cave painting, and the big red thing is them because they would make themselves larger than life because they're happy with the decision they made for immortality. I don't know. That's just me. So currently have some people piling on in now that the chat is open up to any and everybody. Brandis says, bro, but why boy in white so cryptic and withholding? Very annoying to me. I agree. It is very annoying. It is very annoying. To me, it just reminds me of reading the Bible. It's like you just give it to me in plain English. No, it's all these parables, stories, and again, and just in my personal life, both directly and indirectly, I have seen it that it works out better for people to help themselves than for you to give them a handout. But in Fromville, I mean, the boy in white, he has been giving handouts, but I think if he just kind of gives them the same instruction and energy that he gave Christopher, it would be enough for them to pull themselves up by their bootstrap. But the boy in white is given nada. Given nada. So Sprinkle Kitty, boy in white is most likely the entity. I think so. So Brandis says, boy in white, I don't know. I think he is capping. That's why I got liar on his shirt there, or on his chest. Christopher says, you're a liar. Everything lies here. There's a reason Christopher came to that conclusion. He's not going to talk and tell Jade that, but I think that maybe Jade may end up having the same experience as Tabitha, where the same way that Tabitha hugged Victor and she's ugly when she cries. Maybe Jade will have a moment where he's ugly and he cries and he remembers being Christopher or something. And then he kind of remembers who he came from, and that'll kind of give answers as far as the Christopher situation. Maybe we'll even see how Christopher passed away. Maybe. So Simmy Tom says those crusty kids might actually be good though, right? I think the ghoulish children, I think they are good because they did attempt to direct Tabitha and Julie to the cellar. I don't think it was for Victor. I think it was for Fatima, and that's why the kimono woman put her hand over Fatima's mouth to keep Fatima from talking and revealing where she's hidden at. I do believe that because the voices told Sarah in season 1 about the 2 vehicles coming into town, Sarah sat and watched it and saw the event happen. And then the voices said, even though the voices are evil and bad, the voices say, if you don't unalive the boy, your brother would die. The entity, the creatures, the voices, they can see possible realities, or maybe they're currently in the future speaking to Sarah in the past. And I think that the ghoulish children may be the same way. That's how they were able to direct them down there. I think like all the forces in Fromville, good, bad, and different, they can see the future. They're from the future. They're in the future. They're experiencing time all at once. And there's 2 sides playing against each other, and they're trying to influence the humans to do what they want them to do, like 2 sides on a chessboard. So Kyla says, why would Miranda feel so complied to go at night? I think I don't know. I think Miranda heard from Victor what the boy in white said and was like, it's now or never. I guess because maybe people were, and this is my opinion, I think people were getting ready to go through the faraway tree themselves. And I think that maybe she got a vision of what happened when that happens, and people fell from the sky. That's how they landed in town, and that's where we had the massacre. Or maybe Miranda had another vision that if you don't go now, it's something bad was going to happen even after that. But you would think that if Miranda has powers like Tabitha, and I think she did, that she would kind of see that Smiley would be waiting on her. Or maybe Miranda was running and afraid because she was racing against time, and Smiley creature was there because voices told him to be there to prevent Miranda from going in a tree. So Sprinkle Kitty says, boy in white maybe could have created Fromville. Maybe. So TR asks, why do I have a feeling in the finale Ethan has to hide out in the RV? That's interesting. Ethan may be with Jim, and something happens in the finale where he has to go back into the RV, and maybe he'll have a more positive conversation with Phone Thomas. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping. I still believe that Phone Thomas, even though he sounds sinister and evil, he's an alternate version of Thomas, and he's just a product of his environment. Whereas Victor is more like childlike, whereas Phone Thomas is more evil. Because if everything is being reincarnated on the show From, and they're taking different forms, maybe Thomas took another form and it's just sinister. So Kyla has joined the army. She has joined the army and become a channel member. Thank you. I appreciate it. Salute. Kyla Campbell, thank you for being a channel member. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So now when I stream in the future, you'll be first class on the plane and being able to type. Plus, I have members only streams and other stuff that I kind of post from the Instagram pages of the different cast members, a lot of funny stuff. You'll be able to enjoy that. Plus, there's also a members tab where all the members kind of talk with each other and me on the same YouTube channel. It's my version of a Discord without you having to leave the YouTube application. So thank you for being a channel member, Kyla. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Thank you. I appreciate it. So Branda says agrees. Agreeing with Simi. KR says, I think the kids are good, just a product of their environment. Yeah, I think so. Right now, I think the only thing you really can trust are the ghoulish children. With the boy in white, you got to take what he's saying with a grain of salt. And it was so funny because Victor and he had like a little back and forth. Victor was saying, you've changed because, you know, the boy in white, he's been the same all these decades. Now he's getting older and he's starting to get taller. That's kind of their way of continuing to have Box Smith as the actor and to explain why he's getting older. He's getting colder because they had him out there in a short sleeve shirt and some shorts, freezing out there doing his lines. I was going on. Vanessa has gifted 1 channel membership. Thank you to Vanessa. I appreciate it. Hey. Yes, so TR was gifted a channel membership. TR, remember to thank Vanessa for gifting you a channel membership. For those of you all who were gifted channel memberships before and the memberships have ran out, you gotta unfortunately get your own membership to be able to continue to have the membership privileges. Same thing for you, TR. Enjoy the gift. I think the gift lasts maybe like 2 weeks. Don't quote me on that. But when the gift ends, if you still want to rock with us and be first class, you can get the membership. It's like $5 a month. And you can enjoy being first class and being able to talk first whenever I do stream. So yes, thank you, Vanessa. Yep, thank you. So yeah, I really enjoyed Revelations Part 1. I think we did learn a lot of stuff. Sarah is now tuned back into creature, demon, entity radio, which I think will be helpful if she learns to control the ability. Julie's communicated to her mom that she time traveled and heard her mom in the cave and was able to share that experience. Tabitha has a new ability. So instead of them having to console and comfort and counsel Victor and spend time with that, Tabitha can just touch him and be able to just get the information she needs and cut out the middleman of Victor. Victor, I'm sorry, but we've given you enough time and we got to cut out the middleman, okay? Got to cut out the middleman. So there actually was more footage left from episode 9. I'm going to play this because I want you all to see how Tabitha somewhat disses Julie in favor of Victor, which this is the reason why I went with option number 1, that Tabitha comes from Miranda and is a reincarnated version of Miranda. So let me show you that before I forget. All right, so this is Tabitha coming up from the cellar. She experienced being Miranda, in my opinion, and being unalived and all that. And so Branda says, what if Tabitha laid hands on Boy in White? She might end up getting the answers. Instead of getting just flashbacks and experiencing stuff, she may get how the Boy in White was created. That'd be awesome. That'd be real awesome. So the Taito Guardian says, I also think the reason why Victor didn't pressure the boy in white for more info was because the boy in white knows everything. And if he spills, then that's the end of the show. Could be. Could be. Could be. But I think that with even knowing the information, because we kind of got it from Victor last time, where the boy in white told Christopher the answers at the answers at the end or at the beginning, you got to go through the faraway tree. And that was the boy in white talking to Christopher. So, I mean, I think besides that information, that would probably be it. So maybe what Tabitha would learn is how the boy in white was created, maybe where the boy in white comes from, maybe that type of thing. Or where does the boy in white go when he leaves the town? He's got to be going somewhere. Where does the boy in white go at nighttime? I mean, he does disappear, but where does he disappear and go to? I'm willing to bet that season 4 and 5 we're introduced to, don't quote me on this. This is me hopefully the writers are watching this and they'll take a page out of this book, but hopefully that we see that there are other towns, or we see the people who were in the settlement that made the cabin and the humanoid statues, maybe even used the sacrificial rocks, the 3 of them that the Matthews and Jade went to. Maybe the boy in white goes to them and is giving them nothing burgers and cryptic messages. Who knows? So Zeno 24/7 says, nah, the boy in white in the first slaughter was happy and doing round and round laughing. Now that things are going sideways, he's angry. Could be. Could be. When Victor came up from the cellar and the carnage was everywhere, the boy in white did look angry, as if Victor was not supposed to survive. And Miranda did tell Victor to hide somewhere where Christopher cannot save you. So a lot of plot holes. A lot of Christopher's good, Christopher's bad. The boy in white's good, the boy in white's bad. You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out. You put your left foot in and shake it all about. A lot of hokey pokey going on. A lot of hokey pokey going on.
What the heck?
All right, so we're going to finish out this scene. I'm going to show you all. So, okay, so as you see, Julie, she comes and touches Tabitha. All right, you all see that, right? She touches Tabitha. Look at Tabitha. Dissing her daughter. Dissing her daughter. So Tabitha is treating Julie like Tabitha was treating the ghoulish children. Right. She don't want to be touched right anymore. So Tabitha does not want to be touched by Julie. Okay. Freaking out. But guess what? Guess who comes up? Pay attention to this part right here. Here he is. Watch this. Watch this. You see it? You see that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You see that? She wants to touch Victor, but she ain't really want to touch Julie. I think, even though I gave 3 options, I think number 1, Tabitha is a reincarnated version of Miranda. Tabitha comes from Miranda, and that's why she instantly wanted to connect with Victor, even though she kind of shunned him in the cellar that's behind them. So now they're having like a family reunion. Victor was thinking this whole time he was alone. You got you a dad, and you got you a mom, and you got you a sister to replace Eloise, and a brother. You and Ethan are already cool, already friends. And what if Thomas was reincarnated and is the boy in white, y'all? I don't even want to put that in y'all's head. I don't even want to put that in y'all's head, guys, because y'all, I'm watching my comment section, hearing the different theories that you all have been throwing out there, and a lot of you all believe that the boy in white is a reincarnated version of Thomas, and if that happens to be a thing, that would be kind of cool, especially if you have maybe like their Thomas reincarnated as the boy in white. Phone Thomas is an alternate version where the boy in white's evil. Maybe the phone Thomas is actually the man in yellow. Who knows? So currently have 110 people watching, 84 likes. Maybe everyone who didn't like the video thumbed it down. If that's the case, that's okay. That's cool. I'm cool with that.
You suck.
Yeah. So having a reunion, and so now Tabitha. Did y'all see that right there? Y'all see that? You see that pushback? See, you all missed it. You all missed it. You all missed it. You all see the shade right there? You know what? Did you all see the shade? Nathan says, I love the channel. I appreciate it. But did you all see the shade right there towards the end? I'm going to replay it if you all missed it. If you are currently ironing your clothes, washing dishes, mowing the grass, or arguing with your significant other, or if you're doing multitasking, I'm going to rewatch this. I want you all to see that Tabitha is shading Julie and connecting with Victor. Shading Julie, connecting with Victor. Tabitha is Miranda. I'm doing a poll. I know you all are tired of polls. You all are probably polled out at this point, okay? Polled out at this point. No Diddy. Polled out at this point. I'm going to give you another poll, okay? I'm going to do it. No Diddy. Do you believe Tabitha is a... Now, do you believe that Tabitha comes from Miranda, as in reincarnation? All right. I want to know, what do you all think? I'm going to play it again while you all vote. But I'm telling you that Tabitha shunned and shaded Julie. Julie has been having attitudes this whole series, so I don't blame her. Julie has been having attitudes this whole time, so I would shun her too, okay? Julie wants her mom. You ain't getting your mom anymore. Yeah, mama's gone. Mama's gone, Julie. Mama's gone. Yeah, mama's gone. Mama's gone. I'm going to play it again while y'all vote. Not trying to influence your vote. So out of 17 votes, currently have 110 people in the chat or on the watching the stream. Do you believe Tabitha comes from Miranda, as in reincarnation? 12% say no. How, Sway? How? How, Sway? How?
Oh, come on, bucko.
Right. 20% say you all trolling. You all got to be trolling. Chat. How do we have at least 24% right now saying no, they don't believe Tabitha comes from Miranda? You all might be holding out that Tabitha is Eloise. I don't know. I think Eloise is just not a character right now, and I don't think Eloise is going to be a factor. Maybe season 4. I think Tabitha is Miranda. That's what I'm thinking.
I didn't anticipate it to be this wild, though, by the way.
Yeah, you guys are wilding out. Wilding out. All right, so Vanessa says, I know the last episode will leave us with more questions than answers. Of course. Of course. They got to justify making the show. And you know what, Vanessa? I see what you put down. I'm going to raise you to that the series is going to end and we're going to have more questions and answers.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Right. The whole is going to be like Lost, where you know what's going on, but you don't know. It's going to be the same way. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a spin-off show where, okay, it was Lost, then From, maybe a spin-off show or a third one will be When. Okay? It'll be all 4 letters, 4-letter words, When. Or What. No, what's going to be the next show for the showrunner? It's going to be What. And the show is going to be just maybe in space or something. It's like, what did you come from? So first you were lost. Now it's who do you come from? And then the what's going to be what you got to do. What are you doing on this other planet in the future? The show What. Okay. If there's a show called What or When, then you heard it here. Breaking news. Breaking news. The next show is going to be What or When. So Vanessa says the show could be trolling. They could be. The show could be trolling. And Vanessa says, yes, she didn't want Julie at the moment at all. She only wanted Victor. And you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that, Julie, because I was sitting here running my mouth. I'm supposed to be playing it for you all to influence your vote as if I'm running for president and have a general election or presidential campaign. All right, let's go through it again. This is Tabitha. See it? You see it? Up. Oh, did y'all see that? Wow. Tabitha is no longer your mom, ma'am. She's no longer your mom. I'm going to hold this frame for all of you all who are saying that Tabitha is not a reincarnation of From. And so here's what I believe is going on. This is not a solid theory, but just what I'm thinking is going on is that episode 10, we're going to see more of a mix between Miranda and Tabitha, whereas right now in this moment, she believes that she's Miranda or Miranda's spirit has gone inside of her. That's why she don't want to be touched. It's like, hey, I ain't your mama. Okay? You've had smoke from me this whole series, talking crazy to Ethan, going off, doing your own adventures, talking crazy to me and Jim about our divorce. None of your business. Now you want to touch me? No, you need to get up out of here. You need to get up out of here. Yeah. All y'all deniers, y'all see Tabitha don't want to be touched. Tabitha's doing Julie worse than she does Jim. I'm just saying. doing her worse.
Unfrickin' believable.
All right, so KR says, I agree. We'll never get definite answers. Yeah, you're never going to get answers. Vanessa says, we'll be discussing from now to eternity. Yeah. We still talk about Lost periodically. We'll be talking about From when and what is created. And we'll be thinking that, oh, well, maybe what or when is a spinoff from and Lost. Yeah, and nobody will have any answers. No one will have any answers. So Jess says, why hasn't Henry asked to see their graves? That's interesting. Instead, well, I guess because Henry's more worried about Victor, who's currently alive. Maybe Henry will ask about that. That's a good point. Gaming with Glee says, I took it as she is clairvoyant, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, she could be. Same way that Tilly Tilly has some type of power with occultism or esotericism. Maybe not. Maybe or maybe not. We don't know. But you know what will be funny is episode 10 comes and Tabitha doesn't do any of this. Doesn't talk about it. Is not asked about it. Doesn't show any more powers. She goes back to being regular Tabitha. So yeah, Tabitha does not want to be touched by Julie. So Julie, you don't have a mom anymore. And the way Jim acts, you don't have a dad either. You and Randall are going to be spending more time together, I guess, learning how to drive. Yeah, so I guess Randall's going to be raising Julie. Who knows? So TR says, I think Miranda is just having visions, like a supernatural ability, like Julie with going through time. So yeah, I think Tabitha is having visions, but I mean, we've seen Tabitha actually go from the cellar. We've seen her in the lighthouse and outside. I think it's 3 different Tabithas. I think that Tabitha may come out to be multiversal. Maybe Tabitha has abilities like the boy in white. Who knows? But I do believe that Tabitha's got to be a reincarnated version of Miranda. Yeah, Sprinkle Kitty says, yeah, that's mean. Yeah, Tabitha's doing Julie worse than Jim. Jim's been nagging you. Julie's been nagging you. And now Julie finally gets a return of the smoke that she's been giving her mom, the attitude. Yeah, I wouldn't want to touch you either, Julie. All right, so I'm pushing play, y'all. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Uh-oh. Look who comes up. Don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Okay. Doing a whole Kamala Harris. I'm speaking. Don't bother me. But look who even though it's kind of blurry, look who she does want to touch. Look who she does want to touch, though. Right there, y'all. But watch this. Watch this. No. Get up off me. Julie, I do not F with you anymore. That's it. That's it. Yeah, Tabitha does not F with Julie anymore. You done. You want to be grown? You grown now. I'm raising Victor. Okay? You said you grown, you don't want a mom, you ain't got a mom anymore. The Tide 2 Guardian says, season 6 spoiler, Tabitha is Jesus. I know, right? She's come back, and they're going to have her get on somebody's cross.
Oh, man, you guys got jokes. Everybody got jokes tonight, dog.
Yes. Tabitha and the boy in white are both saving people. They're both saviors. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Yeah. KR says, yeah, I don't think their relationship will be the same after this. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I mean, imagine that you're trying to console your mom to have some reciprocation of love, and she's telling you, nah, I'm rolling with Victor now. And you know what would be awesome is if Julie becomes jealous of Victor. That would be man. That would be wicked. I would love to see that, because if you remember back in season 1, Julie got kind of like shunned by Fatima when Fatima was kissing the woman that I showed in the beginning part of the stream. And so, Julie got a little jelly. She got jealous, got a little jelly. And now Julie's going to be jealous again of Victor. That's what you get. That's what you get, Julie. That's what you get.
Either you want or you don't.
Right. And guess what, Julie? Tabitha don't want you anymore. She don't want you. She don't want you. All right, so Vanessa says, season 6 spoiler, Tabitha is the Virgin Mother Mary. I know. Tabitha says she's a born-again virgin. Okay? All the dudes from the past don't matter. She's a born-again virgin. Oh, and also, by the way, she was the Virgin Mother Mary in another life. Anything's possible. Jess Ann says, from spinoff, Raising Victor. You know what? Raising Victor. Oh, man. You know what? That's it.
I didn't anticipate it to be this wild, though, by the way.
Yeah, Raising Victor. Rick says Julie is no longer the oldest. I know. Julie's going to have to bow down. Julie is going to have to bow down. She's no longer big sister. I'm going to need you, Julie, to start giving up your lunch money to Victor. He's big brother. That's it. So when the parents are gone, Julie, you're no longer in charge. It's Victor. I like it. I like it. So Ethan, Jess Ann says Ethan gonna be happy as heck to have Victor as a brother. Yeah, I'm telling you, Ethan's gonna be like, you know what, Julie, you're at the threshold. You went in, you got the seizure. I don't want you anymore. You're damaged goods. So the Taito Guardian, if Tabitha is Miranda, then Julie, Ethan, and Victor are technically siblings. Yeah. Technically they are. And guess what? If Tabitha is Miranda, guess who has a hot, sexy wife now? Guess who's got it? Henry. Okay? So instead of Stella getting her groove back, it's gonna be Henry. Yeah. Henry's gonna get his groove back. He's gonna tell Jim, like, look, Jim, she's mine now. She's mine. Yeah, so now Henry's gonna have a hot, sexy girlfriend, hot, sexy wife. Young. He's gonna get his groove back like Stella. That's it. So Vanessa says, if Sarah is Eloise, then wow. You know what? That would be interesting. I would prefer that over Tabitha being Eloise, because everybody wanted Tabitha to be Victor's sister, but for her to be Victor's mom, man. What would even be more awesome is if Tabitha is able to have the spirit of Miranda enter into her body and talk to Victor and let him know it wasn't his fault, reassure him, and help him to get over the trauma, be healed, and become like a better man. That'd be even better than that. Rick says, makes sense. The Victor and Ethan get along so well. Yeah, it does. The lone Mercat. So now Henry and Jim are going to fight for Tabitha. They need to. And you know what? I think Henry has a better chance because Jim's been messing up this whole time. Jim has been messing up this whole time. So yeah. I mean, hopefully Henry brought his Viagra with him. Okay. Just saying. So Taito Guardian says, oh no, the drama. Yeah, it's going to be some drama. I mean, imagine you're Jim and your wife comes to you and says, in another lifetime, I was Miranda and I remember being Miranda. Henry's here. You and I were getting ready to go through a divorce anyway. So, yeah, you got to go. Yeah. So pack your bags and leave. We were getting divorced before we got in here. Henry's here. He's my boo. He was my original. You're yesterday's news. For real. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna do this mess no more.
All right. So I've held you hostage with the jokes and showing that Tabitha shunned Julie. Look at that. Still shunning Julie. Still shunning Julie. Julie's got to realize that, look, everything you had was just erased. Julie, this is your red pill moment. Okay? This is your red pill moment. Be prepared to join the manosphere and join Andrew Tate and them. Be on Fresh and Fit, telling your story about how women ain't no good. That's going to be you, Julie. Be prepared. Okay? Be prepared. I know. Be prepared. Be prepared. All right. Vanessa says, this is turning to days of our lives. Yeah, it is. It is. Peace and Love says, what is Tabitha going to do with Henry? That's her husband. I mean, Tabitha may be a modern woman and have two husbands, okay? Henry will be Monday. Jim can be Tuesday. And if Jade plays his cards right, pushes the right buttons, says the right things, he might be Wednesday, okay? Yeah. Yeah.
It was definitely an experience for me.
Yeah, Tabitha could have 3 dudes. Okay? Like one of those the E shows where you got the sister wives, brother husbands and all that. That's what Tabitha could be doing. Be having 3 husbands. That's it. That's it. It's enough for Tabitha to go around. That's what she says. Okay? It's enough to go around. So Des Kalamazoo from Baltimore says Jim is definitely toast and not making out alive of From Jade, Tabitha forever. Okay. So Des has already claimed that Jade should be next in line to be number 1 instead of Jim. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So Donna Marie says, yeah, the shun. Exactly. Y'all see the shun. For you all that's doubting, it's the 3rd go around. Look at that. Look at that. Don't touch me. I want Victor. I am Victor's mom now. I choose him. I choose him. Guess what? Guess what? Nope. Nope. No. 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 No.
Get up out of here. I'm tripping.
Right. Julie tripping. You see your mom pushing you away 2 or 3 times. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Julie is being treated like the ghoulish children. So now it's almost like it's ghoulish Julie. Okay. Even though you could time travel and that's useful, Tabitha has made her choice, y'all. Tabitha has made her choice. That's it. That's it. Yeah. The low meerkat says, yeah, don't touch me. I want Victor. Exactly. Okay. The poll is still active, been active for 21 minutes. Do you believe Tabitha comes from Miranda as in reincarnation? 30% say no. I've just showed you 3 times where Julie just shunned. No, Tabitha just shunned Julie. 3 times, y'all. I just showed you 3 times where Tabitha is Team Miranda now. Matter of fact, okay, you know what? Instead of it being Tabitha and Miranda, it could be Tyranda. So it's Tabitha, Miranda combined, Tyranda. Or Mabitha. So it's either Mabitha or Tyranda. Which one do y'all want? Mabitha or Tyranda? No, you know what? Neither one, y'all. Don't even. We're not going to vote on that. We're not even going to vote. That's just no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Nah. Yeah, that's not going to be a thing. I wanted the From a Naughty to be a thing, From a Nation, From Tastics, but definitely not a Mabitha or a Tyranda. Oh, okay, KR likes Tyranda. The Lone Meerkat says Nabitha Tyranda. Okay, 2 names. Instead of 1 name like Acosta, 2 names. I like it. That way, you know, you can just kind of pick and choose what you want to say in case you get tongue-tied. I like it. I like it. Okay, the Lone Meerkat says Tyranda sounds like tarantula. It does. And I mean, the way Tabitha's doing Julie right now, shunning her away. Yeah. Julie's a tarantula. Y'all see that? She's reaching for Victor the whole time. I'm telling y'all, you all are sleeping on the fact that Smiley can run. So that means all the creatures can run because this happened before season 1 of Fromville. So the creatures have been able to run the whole time. They just chose not to. So now we know the creatures can run if they want to. They probably will start running, if not episode 10, season 4. And everything that Julie had just got erased. I'm telling you. Tabitha shunned Julie. You know, not throwing any shade or anything. But if your favorite YouTuber or YouTubers or channels or whatever, if they're not pointing out that Tabitha was shunning Julie and being a bad mom out here, then I don't know. Maybe they're not for you like you think. Just saying.
Perfect.
All right, throwing shade over with. I've kept y'all hostage for 2 hours, 30 minutes. I've had fun with this. I've had a blast. I don't want to have this to be too long. So yeah, and usually around Tuesday-ish, we get the trailer for the next episode and the press photos. We'll go through that, and then I'll try to maybe squeeze in a call-in show. Don't hold me to that. Crossing fingers on that. So yeah. So the Lone Meerkat says Nabitha sounds better. Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's got to be Miranda and Tabitha. So Nabitha would be, I guess, I don't know. How do we get Nabitha? Is Tabitha nabbing? Is nabbing a word? Yeah, nab is a word, but I don't think it means, I don't know. If y'all want Nabitha, I guess she could be Nabitha too. That could be her middle name. So Tyranda, Mabitha, Nabitha. Okay. So Donna Marie says 3 is a significant number there, almost like Judas and Jesus, 3 denials. Exactly. You all saw the 3 denials, even though yeah, 3 denials right there. Yeah. So Emilio says, I have a feeling Fatima gonna die and give birth to Smiley. So when did Fatima have relations with Smiley? That's interesting. Or how did that get into Fatima? That's interesting. So the Taito Guardian, maybe the monsters ran before Boyd found the talismans. Okay. Well, that's okay. Could be. Could be. That's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe they did. Like the talisman slowed them down somehow. That's interesting. I hope not, but I mean that could be a thing. Because once Boyd started putting the talismans up, that's when the creatures went from making just straight noises to actually talking and trying to trick people. So maybe they downgraded one way, upgraded another way. So Donna Marie says, how close to the hole in the faraway tree was she? Maybe that's why her body slammed her. She didn't go in. So unfortunately, when it comes to nighttime scenes, even though we can, kind of like when Julie was going around in the cave, even though we can see the character, it's implied because there's no light or anything around that it's dark and they can't see. So I'm believing that she heard the far. You see right there. It shows. That's why there's a shot from up high showing the bottles. she was going based off the sound, and she went to where she saw the sound, and she went into the tree, but didn't really mean to, and it was dark. And so she's scared, but then she hears something behind her, which is Smiley. She hears something, and it kind of implies that she was able to kind of like see him, but she heard something, and then she's like, no, no, no. He runs, tackles her, prevents her from scoring a touchdown. So yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Smiley is a defensive back, tackled her, did his thing, and prevented her from scoring a touchdown by going into the faraway tree. So yeah, Vanessa says Tabitha had a psychotic break. Yeah. Yeah, Vanessa says hit the like on the way out. Yeah, please and thank you. And you know what? Yes. Smiley ran because it was important to stop Miranda. Exactly. See, in town, they don't really run after people. They just kind of, even when Acosta was in town, when she first came into town, season 3, she was walking around with the firearm. They just kind of walked her down, let her go into the house. But the tree really is important, like the boy in white said, and maybe nobody should go into it. However, I think maybe Dale went into this one or another one and had an unfortunate effect. But I think that the voices that can see the future as far as future possibilities, they told Smiley to prevent her from going inside, and it was important because if she would have went inside, I think she really would have went to the lighthouse and saved the children. So who knows? So all right, so yeah, so there it is. Please thumb up and like on the way out. Share this video to your YouTube community tab and all your social media. Join channel membership if you want to. After the live stream processes, if you want to donate, do the thanks. You can also donate by Cash App if anybody is interested in that. The Cash App don't have that available as far as the commercial for that. But it's $ Spade Parkland. But let's see. Let's see. This might be it right here.
We're going to start getting some work done, family. So please get them donations in. Get them in. $
Spade
Parkland.
Spade
Parkland.
Use my Cash App card when I cash her out. Shoot her 250 on the Cash App, then I ask her out. Cash App, what's your Cash App? Cash App, what's your Cash App?
Get on your Cash App, $
Spade
Parkland.
We're going to start getting some work done, family. So please get them donations in. Get them in. $
Spade
Parkland.
Yeah, you don't have to donate by Cash App or donate it at all. You don't have to do any of that. If you choose to do so, I appreciate it. Please and thank you. So yeah, so held you all hostage long enough. 2 hours, 30 minutes plus. I really enjoyed myself. We're going to close down the poll, and it's looking like 27%. 27% do not believe Tabitha comes from Miranda. I'm assuming you all are holding out that maybe Tabitha is Eloise. Nothing wrong with that. I guess we'll see episode 10. So yeah. So everybody thumb up the video. Thank you, Donna Marie. Thumb up, thumb up, thumb up. Thank you, Vanessa, for telling people to thumb up on the way out. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.